I'm Louis Betancourt, otherwise known as General Slaughter, Capo de Capi, or your favorite TO. And today, we have a special show and new show called Rapid Fire Tactics. Please make sure to go check out Ops and OCS on our platform, Onslaught Gaming 40K. We have a variety of different videos for you to watch. These Rapid Fire Tactics videos are very quick, very fast, and brings you all the new information and content that's out right now in Warhammer 40K. And today, we're going to talk about Pariah Nexus. Let's go ahead and get started. The new mission pack for Warhammer 40,000 called Pariah Nexus is the second season of competitive play for the 10th edition. Many major changes affecting terrain, missions, and army builds. Changes and how they all affect you in competitive play. Some of the key changes. Play sequence. Play sequence has changed a little. It will be covered in detail further in future videos. Make sure to watch Onslaught Candidate School, which is otherwise known as OCS from Onslaught Gaming 40K, on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Next key change. Mission rules. No more chilling rain, and most missions will have a condition. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. I think chilling rain was a little bit dull, and this brings a new flavor to the game, and I'm excited. And most will affect battle line units as well. Another key change, the mission deck. A ton of new primary missions and changes to almost all secondary missions. Secret missions, otherwise known as gambits, are now called secret missions. This allows different choices after round 3 with real counterplay. And last key change is deployment maps. An introduction of 6 new deployment maps with some tweaks of existing ones and a new map called Tipping Point. And we'll go ahead and share with you. Let's go ahead and give you the breakdown. Game sequence. Minor changes including redeployment rules in Titanic unit deployment. Actions. Actions have new rules. These new rules disallow actions if units advanced, fell back, or were engaged in combat. And aircraft and OC0 units cannot perform actions anymore. This is really healthy for the game now, I think. I think it makes a lot of sense. It allows units like Nurglings and things like that to no longer be effective. We've all seen those little pesky little critters on the board, and we didn't like it, and now that's changed. Mission rules. Hidden supplies, they now have an extra objective marker. Fog of War. It gives your first round cover and a restriction or core stratagems. Having first round cover is very nice, especially for a lot of close combat armies, and you'll see a lot of armies adjust in deployment. Adapt or die. Swapping secondary cards and drawing extra cards. Inspired leadership. If your warlord is outside the deployment zone, it boosts battle shock tests. This is very nice. It gives the ability for your characters, specifically your warlord, to have that extra oomph in that game that you might need. Smoke and mirrors. Strategic reserves placement now bypass points limits, which is pretty cool. And you're going to see a lot of close combat armies also coming out of strategic reserves and using smoke and mirrors. Battle line benefits. Benefits for battle line units in actions, shooting, strategic reserves, raising banners, and special abilities in battle. You're going to see a lot of battle line now because of all the extra benefits and points that you can get throughout the games. Deployment maps. Changes to existing maps. Dawn of War. It now has a reduced distance between deployment zones, which is now 20 inches apart instead of 24 like it used to be. Sweeping engagement. New stepped deployment zones. There's one step that's 8 inches and another that's 14 inches, and the steps and the corners of deployment zones are only 16 inches apart. This is fantastic for close combat armies. You can get stuck in very fast, especially for my world eaters. We're going to love that. And tipping point. New hammer and anvil version of deployment zone. That's going to be exciting. This is going to be the first one, Dawn of War. As you can see, it still has 5 objectives, but you have a very narrow no man's land. It used to be compromised of 24 inches before in the center for no man's land. Now it's only 20. This is sweeping engagement. First step deployment is 8 inches. Second step deployment to your left is going to be 14 inches. And in the center, for deployment zones, there's only 16 inches apart. So close combat armies are going to be very excited about using sweeping engagement. The new hammer and anvil style, tipping point. This is a lot tighter and a lot closer. And as you can see, there's still the same amount of objective markers, but it's a lot more close now. Primary missions. 9 primary missions, including adjusted versions of existing missions and entirely new ones, focusing on holding objectives, actions, and strategic placement. Secondary missions. Let's talk about fixed secondaries first. We have Assassination, Bring It Down, Call the Horde, which is a new one, Cleanse, Establish Locus, which is another new one, Recover Assets, and more, with adjusted scoring and new rules. Tactical missions. A little bit of a mix of new and old options with the ability to use the new order stratagem more than once per game. That's exciting. Secret missions. Secret missions now replaces gambits, allowing a choice at the end of battle round 3 with a cap on primary VP and a potential for 20 victory points, for a total of 40 primary victory points. So, competitive play implications. First one is more melee armies. Shorter distances between deployment zones favor fast melee armies. Just like I was saying before, right? My world leaders are going to be able to get stuck in a lot faster. My orcs are really going to love it and get in and start crumping immediately. Next one, vehicle meta. This is going to be very nice. So you're going to see a lot more vehicles on the tabletop. And all of those Space Marines are going to have a lot more Land Raiders, Impulsors, and other vehicles. Changes to Bring It Down, scoring benefits very vehicle-heavy armies. Next one, shift towards fixed objectives. So you might see a little bit or extra people taking fixed objectives. It's going to help them out a lot, right? It's going to be an emphasis on building for fixed objectives, though tactical objectives are less risky. Action economy. Increased importance of actions in primary, secondary missions, affecting army builds. More battle line units. Battle line units are going to have an increased utility and importance of battle line units. Secret missions. Well, this replaces the gambits once again, right? And it's going to be realistic and useful in various game scenarios, offering strategic options. So, in conclusion, our thoughts are Pariah Nexus introduces substantial changes that will shape competitive play. There will be an emphasis on melee armies, more vehicle usage, and strategic actions. The new action-packed mission pack aims to create a dynamic and engaging environment for Warhammer 40K players. So if you have any comments, make sure to comment below on YouTube. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And we hope that we talked about Pariah Nexus and it helped you just slightly understand it a little bit better or what's to come next. All right. Thank you so much.